All right, guys. So it's been raining all morning. It is currently still drizzling. I hope no rain gets on the on my phone there. But I am just chomping at the bit to try out this Husqvarna 565. I got my filter in yesterday, and this will be my first time actually putting it in the wood. If you've seen the previous video, you know that it has a slight issue with the choke slash high idle mechanism. I got a new carb on order, and it just needs to be bent in the perfect placement. And anyways, but that's another story. This will be my first time running it. We will have to do a slow cut at first to let it tune itself, and but then we'll get to it. And it needs to be warmed up as well. So see, it doesn't like being on high idle. Okay, here we go. Yes. That is quite a nice saw. I am very, very happy with that. Very, very nice. I've said it before, saying it again, it is extremely difficult to compare saws that you're not running back to back, right? But that to me feels like a nicely ported 372. Like a, you know, no machine work maybe, you know, just a muffler mod and remove the gasket and a decent little port job. That's what that thing feels like to me right out the gate. Right out the gate. My goodness. That is lovely. I love it. I love it not because it's superior performing or anything, but because I finally have my 70cc class saw that I won't mind throwing in the back of the truck and taken to do some serious work. You know, whenever you're working on an actual job, you treat a saw differently than you do whenever you're even just at your own house, you know, doing real work. And especially different than whenever you're cutting cookies. Whenever you're on a real job, you get tired. You take that saw and you just kind of toss it down on the ground. It flops over on its side. Then you work with real tree guys and they always do the same thing. They sit it down on the side like that, you know. And if I saw somebody do that with one of my nicer saws, I'd be like, what are you doing? You know? So it's not that I won't care for this thing. It's that I won't mind really working this thing. And whoo, boy, it is hot right above that muffler. So this thing is begging for a muffler mod right out the gate. Got to get rid of that heat. And so I will definitely do a muffler mod. I might go back and do it today. And we'll see, we'll have some timed comparisons maybe, possibly. I don't know, I'm not that worried about it. But man, that thing feels great. That thing really feels fantastic. That is, I'm genuinely gushing, right? I have ran two 572 XPs. The first one, it wasn't a fair shake, honestly. The rakers were too high on it. That chain was not nearly aggressive enough. And so I really had to push on it to get it through the cut, right? And so that gave me a jaded opinion right out the gate with it, you know? I was just like, I don't know, it's not that special. But then I ran another 572 that David from Mountain Life with David and Kelsey, he brought, it was a dealer demo saw. And he had brought it to Tazapalooza, and I ran it, and I was like, man, that's one of the more impressive saws here. I mean, it ran really good, you know, it really well. And so it got me really excited about this. And I went down to the shop the other day. I was in the area, and I just swung by, and I was like, hey, are my parts in? Because I've had a coil on order for this and a carburetor for a long time. And they're like, well, the coil has come in. So you can go ahead and take that. And I put it on, and it does in fact work. But somebody had originally tried to swap out this carburetor. And whenever they did that, they couldn't get it to fit quite right. And so the choke lever was bent awkwardly. And if you don't have reference to go off of, with, well, should it have that bend and things like that? Because originally the choke mechanism was working just fine, and I tried to rebend it back to where I thought it should be, and therein lies the problem. That's the problem. So I got it. I put the coil on. It does run, and I am still waiting on the actual carburetor to come in. But truthfully, it doesn't need it. It just needs that perfect balance of the throttle linkage to be bent in the perfect position. And so whenever I get that new carburetor, I could tell them to cancel the order, but probably what I would do, they're a small shop, and I like to purchase with small shops as much as I can. And so I don't want to say send it back or no, you're stuck with that inventory, refund me that money. I don't want to do that to them. And so I'll get that brand new carb. I'll get this one bent in accordance and then reinstall everything, and then I'll sell the brand new carb. It's probably what I'll do. Or I might swap them, keep the brand new carb and sell this one on eBay. But regardless, it doesn't actually need a new carburetor. There's nothing wrong with this carburetor. It's just that little function is kind of finicky. And but I am stoked about this. I already have a full wrap top handle for it. And because, you know, you get them so cheap. I mean, I did a video on it the other day, and I told everybody, oh, it's more than the other day. It was a couple months ago, I think. But I couldn't believe the deal. It was like $27 for a full wrap bar. And this is all OEM Husky stuff. Full wrap bar, bigger upgraded dogs, and the upgraded big side cover so that whenever you're noodling, it doesn't, it spits out the chips easier. So I'm definitely going to put those things back on it and do a muffler mod. And I think I just leave it alone and just use it. But I don't know, you know me, and at some point it'll be good for the channel to port it and see if I can get more power out of it and stuff like that. But as it is, man, that thing runs great. That's fantastic. I am super happy with that. And if you're out there wondering, should I get the 565 or the 572 XP? Like I said, you can't, it's hard to compare if you're not one right after the other. But this feels just like a 572 XP. I mean, it does. So, what are you getting above this whenever you purchase the 572 XP? Quicker throttle response? But to me, that stuff's pointless, you know? I guess it could work out really well for fellers, for people who are dropping trees a lot, because you're right in there and you're looking, and whenever you want to zip it, you want it to go. And so maybe the 572 is better on that front. But if you haven't checked out MWeb A1, MWeba1, his channel, he does a side-by-side, or not a side-by-side, he does a one after the other timed comparison between a 565 and a 572. And if I remember correctly, they were actually identical in the cut. In a big, you know, he had a big bar on it, like say a 36-inch bar or something like that. And so they were actually like identical in times. Maybe the 572 is like 1 second faster in a 45-second cut. But I guess I should put it this way. The 572 is the better saw, but marginally, you know, I mean, so I got this saw for 150 bucks. And now then I had to turn around and pay about $300 for the new carbon coil. But that's it. Anything else like the kit, that's another 27 bucks. So for less than $500, I was able to get what you see here, and I haven't even put the upgrades on yet. I haven't put on the full wrap handle and stuff. And so I'm really stoked with this. It's a good deal. Very low use. You know, that piston and cylinder is pristine. I have taken the muffler off and looked at it, and it's just in glorious condition. You know, I think that I'll probably end up dyeing all the plastics black because it looks cool, you know, and I also spoke the high top for the 572 so that they have that larger filter. I don't want it. I think it looks better in this situation right here, or in this configuration. I like the low top. It's smooth, it's nice. I can bend over it better. Sharpen the chain if I want. I'm very happy about that. Very, very. Let's see if it restarts after the heat soak. Yeah! Very nice saw. Very nice saw. So I think for actual work saws, I'm really set, man. I am. I got the Red Max 5000. Love that little saw. For the 60cc class, it's hard pressed, man. My 620 runs great. I don't know what I would reach for at this point if I truly wanted. I don't know. I'd say right now at this point, with what I have, I don't have the 361 ported. I don't have my 562 ported or even muffler modded. But I do have the 359 ported and I have my 620 ported. And out of those two, if I truly wanted a 60cc class saw for 60cc class work, I would tend to get the Echo 620. Because I have a 22-inch bar on that thing and it pulls it as good as a 70cc saw for sure. But the 359 is smaller, probably a little bit lighter, but I want to run a 20-inch bar on that. That's what feels natural to me. And well, if I'm running a 20-inch bar, I'm running that's what I run on my Red Max 5000. So I kind of look at it like the Red Max 5000 to me in my book is really well suited to a 325 chain with a 20-inch bar. It is really well suited and it does performs flawless, right? Then the next size up is, you know, and with that I can use it to get branches, do trim work and stuff like that, smaller work. Then whenever I step up to, you know, larger, say 14, 16-inch diameter wood, maybe even up to 20-inch and stuff, I would want to step up to a larger saw. I mean, you could handle it all with the 5000, but I don't work that way. I want to step up to the next size. And the next size for general purpose work is going to be the 620 right now as I have everything. And then from there, the next size after that is your 70cc saw. And that's going to be in your really big stuff like this with a 28-inch bar. I'm going to grab that. Then whenever I have truly, truly big shit, I'm going to grab the 592 XP. So very happy boy right now. I have literally zero 372 XP envy. See what I'm saying? This right here fills that slot, no problem. And I'm not second guessing myself going, man, I wish it was a 572. Did I say three? I have zero 572 XP envy. I'm happy with this. 565, by what I just did right there is going to be perfectly fine. And yeah, I can't feel a difference between the two of them. This feels like a 572 XP. It just doesn't have the high top on it, and maybe it's lacking a little bit of crisp throttle response, you know, but I'd have to run them side by side to know that. I'd have to run them directly one right after the other before I was able to pick up on the differences, the subtle little differences. So yeah, very happy with the 565 not XP, it's just a 565.